The operator of a ship hit by a Hantavirus outbreak that has killed 3 people says no remaining passengers on board are symptomatic for the virus. Contact tracing is underway for those who have come into contact with former passengers of the ship. The World Health Organization moved to calm global fears today, saying this is not the start of an epidemic or pandemic. The cruise began on April 1st with 114 guests boarding at Ushuaia in southern Argentina. 5 days later, on April 6th, a 70-year-old Dutchman got sick and died on board on April 11th. At this stage, there was no indication that the hantavirus was to blame. Almost 2 weeks later, on April 24th, his 69-year-old wife, feeling unwell, left the ship at St. Helena and flew to Johannesburg. A British passenger with signs of fever was also evacuated to South Africa. In all, 30 people left the cruise on that date. After reaching Johannesburg, the Dutch woman briefly boarded a KLM flight bound for Amsterdam, but was taken off the plane and to hospital, where she died a day later. As the ship travelled north, another passenger developed a fever and died on May 2nd. Her body remains on board. The following day, the ship arrived off the coast of Cape Verde. As it became clear that a hantavirus outbreak had occurred on board the ship, passengers began isolating in their cabins. And yesterday, 3 people, 2 crew members with symptoms and a passenger with no symptoms but with links to the German woman who died, were evacuated. And now the ship is sailing for the Canary Islands, where it's due to land on Saturday or Sunday with 149 people from 23 countries on board.
Countries are scrambling to trace people linked to the MV Hondius, the luxury cruise ship at the centre of the outbreak. It is now making its way towards an isolated port on Tenerife.
Sí, atracará en Tenerife.
Spain's health minister says remaining passengers will be clinically assessed, with foreign nationals then repatriated and Spanish nationals quarantined. The virus found in the 3 victims has been confirmed as the Andes strain, which is the only type of hantavirus that can be transmitted human to human. The pathogen is spread primarily through contact with rodents. Argentinian authorities are working to see if Ushuaia, the origin port of the vessel, is the source of the outbreak. A couple who were birdwatching boarded the ship in the city and visited sites where species of rat known to carry the virus was present. The WHO says while health authorities should be on high alert, the virus spreads very differently compared to COVID or influenza.
Given the incubation period of the Andes virus, which can be up to 6 weeks, it's possible that more cases may be reported. While this is a serious incident, WHO assesses the public health risk as low.
The captain of the Hondius says morale on board has improved. Cabins have been disinfected and doctors are now on the vessel. All remaining passengers and crew are reportedly asymptomatic, but the 2 Irish nationals on board will be assessed before their return to Ireland.
We're still in the gathering information stage. The Irish people need to be assessed, medically assessed, when they do get to Tenerife, and on foot of that we'll make the next set of decisions.
But it's the 29 passengers who disembarked in St. Helena nearly 2 weeks ago that are concerning epidemiologists the most. The individuals are of at least 12 different nationalities. Health authorities in the US, the UK and Singapore have all confirmed they are monitoring contacts for potential hantavirus infections. And in the Netherlands, a flight attendant with KLM is in hospital after coming into contact with a woman in South Africa who later died from the virus. David Landy, RTE News.
It's a number of weeks now since what was supposed to be a dream cruise got underway in Argentina. However, an outbreak of the deadly hantavirus on board the MV Hondius claimed the lives of 3 people on board. After stopping off the coast of Cape Verde, the cruise ship is now on its way to the island of Tenerife, from where we can speak to journalist Cliona O'Flynn. And Cliona, thanks indeed for joining us on 6-1. As we say, the ship is on its way to Tenerife. It's due to arrive on Sunday, I believe. What's the plan then in terms of where it will dock and how people will get off?
Well, things are changing practically every hour, Tommy. We have now had confirmation that, in fact, the ship won't dock. It will anchor off the coast of Tenerife. And this, the regional government consider a bit of a victory, because initially they were totally against the idea of the ship coming to the Canary Islands. And even port workers were very worried about possible infection if the ship was to dock. It will anchor off Granadilla. And the latest we have heard as well from Spanish authorities is that no nationals of any country will be allowed to leave the ship until their particular plane is already in situ here in Tenerife. And when they are allowed to leave the plane, they will be transferred to the airport and brought through an isolated corridor to their plane. So there will be no contact with members of the public. They won't be brought through the usual channels of an airport. So to keep contact to the absolute minimum.
Because there are 2 Irish passengers on board that ship, so presumably the same applies to them.
The same applies to all passengers. In fact, I just got confirmation this afternoon from the Department of Foreign Affairs there in Dublin. They're in contact with the embassy in Madrid, and they have been offering consular assistance to both passengers throughout the last couple of days. And they've also said that they are coordinating with the embassy in Madrid, with the consular offices in the Canary Islands, and with local authorities to make sure that all available assistance is offered to the passengers, those 2 passengers, when the ship does arrive, as you say, probably early Sunday. We're not quite sure when at this stage.
And what's the feeling amongst the authorities there, the government there? Because it's only a few days since they were trying to block the arrival of the boat.
They were trying to block the arrival of the boat, and it turned into a political row that perhaps overshadowed what many felt was a humanitarian gesture by the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez in acceding to the World Health Organization's request to allow the ship to come to the Canary Islands. However, with this decision now to anchor the ship off the coast rather than to dock, Fernando Clavijo, who is the regional president, seems to be quite happy now with this decision. And hopefully that means that there will be an easier level of contact and cooperation between all the health authorities, both local, national and international. And we know the European Commission is also working with local authorities to make sure that every nationality, every national on the board, on ship, will be catered for when they arrive. So the feeling among the authorities has kind of died down in a sense. However, local people here who work in the tourism industry, whether they're Canarian or many foreign, many internationals who work here, are still very worried. They're very worried that the ship is coming here at all, because the mention of the word virus immediately allows their memory go back to 2020. And when the COVID virus did hit these islands, it was a huge blow to the tourism industry. The islands were practically empty within weeks. So that is possibly why the World Health Organization were stressing over and over again today at their press conference that this is not coronavirus, this is not a pandemic, but people will still be very worried, I think, Tommy.
Yeah, as you say, the WHO very much trying to allay people's concerns. But I suppose this is the start of the summer season, and people on the island just do not want to be associated with any talk of a virus.
No, they don't. And I mean, even the fact that the boat is coming here, many people feel will already maybe startle tourists who are planning a trip here into changing their minds. The Canary Islands lives off tourism. I mean, it is a huge part of our gross domestic product. So anything that might harm that cash cow, in a sense, for the islands is considered dangerous. And as I said, people are very worried. They're concerned for the passengers. They don't want them to come to any harm, but they feel that they don't want their colleagues and their businesses to come to any harm either.
And hopefully it's an ordeal that will come to an end soon. Cliona O'Flynn on the island of Tenerife, thanks indeed for speaking to us on 6-1.